This presentation, I'm going to quickly show you how to load some popular file types in R. The first thing that you want to do is set your working directory. It's not required, but I do recommend that you do it. You can reference the folders in the actual file names when you load in the data, but if you're doing that a lot of times, or you're writing output, it just saves you from having to reference that each time. So you just do it right off the bat, and then you're good. So I have two examples here. The first one is on a Mac. So if you're on a Mac, the script should look something like this, depending on where the folder is located. If you're on Windows, it'll look something more like this, where you reference the drive first. Okay, first I'm going to cover CSV files, or comma separated files. It's very common to get a data set in this type of format. It looks like an Excel file, but it's not saved as such. So if you do have an Excel file and you do want to load it in as a CSV, all you have to do is just go to Save As in Excel, and there's an option there to save as a CSV as opposed to an Excel file. R can load Excel files, but I don't really recommend it. I believe you can do it through a package called XL Connect, I believe. It's not something that I've used very often, but it is out there. So if you're insistent on loading in data as an Excel file as opposed to a CSV, you can check that out. But first, it's really simple. You just really type in read.csv, and then you reference the file name itself. There are some additional options you can add in to that in terms of how to handle certain characters or things like that. But if you type in question mark read.csv, it'll show a help window here, and you can read more about that. You can also load CSV data in directly from a website. If the data set is being stored on a website, all you have to do is just type in the URL to the actual CSV file, and it's the same function here, read.csv, and you're all set. So first of all, I should also note, though, that you can you can write whatever you want in these little spots here. Basically, what this is doing is just saying, call this data set DF. I call a lot of my data sets DF. It stands for data frame, which is the R word for a data set, as most of us would know it. So I just call it DF. It's short, it's simple to type. I know what type of file it is. But you can call it data or something else, whatever. Okay, next I'm just going to show you tab files here. So it's similar to a CSV file, except in this case here, it's a .txt file, and the columns are separated by tabs instead of commas. So in a case like this, instead of read.csv, you would just type in read.table, reference the file name, and then you have to tell R what the columns are actually separated by, in this case tabs. So you would type in sep equals /t. Finally, there's this really handy R package called Foreign that allows you to load in Stata and SPSS files. If you don't have it installed already, you have to type in install.packages foreign, just how I have here. It'll install it. Once it's installed, you don't have to type that again. You just have to load the package by typing in library foreign, like I do here. And just click on that. That'll load it. And then at that point, it's pretty straightforward. You can just type in read.deta. That's the extension, of course, for a Stata file. So it's similar to read.csv. You just type in the function and then reference the actual file name. For SPSS, it's pretty similar. It's read.spss, and then you have to put the right extension .sav. And then you do have to add one little thing here to an SPSS file. I believe if you don't type that in, R will load the data as a list, which you typically don't want. So instead, to get it to a data frame with rows and columns like we're used to, just type in comma 2.data.frame equals true. And one note about SPSS files, though, is that this package does not do a very great job of importing data variable like names and categories. It'll load in the actual data values. So if you have data names associated with values in your SPSS data, it may not transfer over. So that's something just to keep in mind. One more thing I should note about this foreign package is that you can also, I believe, import files from SAS, Minitab, and MATLAB as well. So if you're a user of those software packages, or you get data from those, you can just Google foreign package R, and you should be able to find a lot of help to load in those types of files too. So, all right, well, thank you very much. To look at more R tips, you can go to dataanalysistools.net. Thank you.